Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we are in the beautiful Wapakoneta, Ohio, and I am up here to visit with my friends over at Flex Machine Tools. I'm going to be here doing some CNC training. This will be my very first training for CNC machining. Hopefully I'm going to be learning how to do some CAD and some CAM, and Flex Machine Tools is providing this training for me, so that's the reason why we came up here. Be here for 3 days, today being Wednesday. We're going to do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday training, and then after that we're going to be hitting the road. We got some other places to visit after this though. Abby and I, we have our Kodiak set up here. We're set up at the KOA here in Wapakoneta, Ohio. It's a beautiful place. Give you a little shot of what it looks like around here. Very pretty, and it's very cold, I should say, this morning. Woke up and it said it was 34 degrees outside, and here it is in the middle of May. Unbelievable that it's this cold. I think it's unseasonably cold, actually. Everybody's saying it doesn't normally get this cold this later in the year, so you know the weather's been acting kind of weird the past year or so. But anyway, so I'm getting ready to head over there to Flex Machine Tools. They're not very far, about 5 minutes away, and I'm hoping that I get some fun, interesting video for you guys this week. Hopefully document a little bit of this training that I'm going to be doing. So I would like to show you how this progresses, you know, what I learn, and maybe some of the things that I can do once I start learning some of this stuff. And also anything interesting that might be going on there at Flex Machine Tools, I'd like to share with you as well. You know, they've got machine tools that they build, they have their products that they build, the flex arms and the other type of systems that's derived off of the flex arm technology. So I'm just hoping that we have some fun, interesting video to share with all of you this week. All right, so I'm gonna finish drinking some of my coffee, try to warm up a little bit, and then we're gonna head over there to Flex Machine Tools. All right, we made it over here to Flex Machine Tools. There it is. They got a beautiful big building here, and it's been almost 2 years since we've been here. Our last visit, we did a little factory tour there, so be sure to check that out too if you haven't seen it. So let's go on in and meet everybody and get ready for this training. All right, we made it out here to the shop here at Flex Machine Tools, and we are starting our initial training. Thought I'd give you a shot of the machine that we're actually going to be using for our training here. So this is going to be the Flex CNC G series. This particular one is the 2004. 20-foot X, 4-foot Y. Does have the 4th axis on there. We're going to be setting up a Kurt vise over here in a bit. This is the machine. We're going to start doing some training right here on this one. So what we're starting with is learning the functions of the machine and how to come into the software here and do everything that you need to do. We're not focusing on CAD right now. We're focusing on learning how to operate the machine. So that's what we've been going through right now. Here a minute ago, we were just locating the tool setter right in here, just doing a little practice run on it. So that's where we're starting at right now. All right, Aaron's been giving me some training over here, very basic things, but we're learning things that are very important too, such as how to take a tool out, how to take a tool and put it back in the machine, how to set up your tool offsets. But what we're doing right now, I'm just going to take a tool out of the machine. So tool number 2, we're ready to get it, so we're going to hit cycle start. Spindle's moved over there to the carousel, and then we want to hit yes right here. So it's going to grab tool number 2, and we've got it set up with a coordinate over here that we're bringing that tool to. All right, now we can go ahead and remove it. There we go. I think that's second time I've done that now, maybe. All right, we're gonna put tool 1 away. And then after that, we're gonna put in tool 2. So cycle start. Okay, so now we are ready to grab another tool, which is going to be tool 2, and do the same thing and put it away. Let's see. All right, that's going to be tool number 2, correct? We're changing this from 0 to 2. Enter. We've already got our G code in there, which tells it that it's going to go put the tool away and it's going to come back to this position right here. Cycle start. That's it. All right, tool 2, I forgot to calibrate it. So we went and grabbed it, brought it back, and we're going to calibrate it. I'm going to grab that just to show them what we're doing. This guy right there, we're going to come down and touch that. And so I think I'm going to use the controller for this one. Let me see if I do this right. Acknowledge. MPG. Yep. I'm going to go ahead and go times 100. And we're on Z. Looks like I'm doing it right. We're going to bring it down close. About like that. We'll go ahead and hang this guy back up. No, I don't remember.
So we're going to go to tool offset page?
Tool offsets, that's right. Okay, tool offsets. All right, and then tool calibrate. Correct. This needs to be closed, right? Yeah. Tool calibrate. It just did it really quick, came down and touched. And then there we go. So that tool is now calibrated. All right, so now we need to put it back away again. We're gonna go T0 here, okay. Change this to 0, T0, M6, cycle start. That's it. Pretty basic things, but very important things that you have to know in order to run the machine. All right. I'm learning how to tram in a vise over here on the flex. So obviously I know how to do it on a manual milling machine. This is the first time I've ever trammed in a vise on a CNC machine. We got the indicator set up and Aaron's been showing me how to do it. So we've got our pendant. And this is how I'm moving. I'm just indicating the vise jaw over there with this. So a little bit different process, but it's still interesting. So I have to move it and I have to go in there with the soft blow and tap it a little bit at a time until we get that needle running 0. All right, guys, this is our first program that we wrote. This is just a simple practice piece, and anybody that knows how to read G code is going to know what that is. But it's just 3 simple holes that we're going to be drilling in this piece of cold rolled 1018 steel piece of flat bar right there. We're going to be drilling 3 34 millimeter holes. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get started on it. We're going to hit cycle start and ramp it up to 100%. So cycle start, 100% right there. See if we can see anything. Oh, I messed up and I was standing in the laser light right here, safety feature. We've got it set up to gantry move down out of the way about 60 inches. All right, there we go. There's our 3 holes. First A-bomb CNC made part right there. All right, there's our first 2 test pieces that we made. We actually did just 2 of them. So first CNC machine piece by A-bomb right here on the Flex CNC. So I would say we had a pretty successful first day here for our training at Flex Machine Tools. And even though what they're training me on is very basic and simple for any CNC machinist or CNC operator out there, it's the basics for me because I've only ever done manual machining. This is the very first time I have ever done any type of CNC machining. So I think the biggest thing is going to be learning the G codes and learning and understanding what the G codes are, which there's going to be a book that has all that in there for me to take. It's just going forward with it, all of the learning of what these G codes are, especially if you're going to go in and manually write out a code for one part. If you don't want to go over to the computer and actually draw one up in CAM software, and you want to go to the machine and program the machine to do what you want and write these codes in, which is what we did today. Aaron wants to try to get me familiar with what these codes are and how to put them in the machine. And then it's just navigating the software in the machine itself on knowing how you want it to move and doing everything right there with the computer control versus just going up to a machine like I'm used to with hand cranks and moving it around and doing what you want it to do. But I had a good time today. We had a successful day of inputting information and then putting the drill in there and drilling the 3 holes. I mean, we did some other things there too as well, learning how to put the tools in there, how to put the tools in the tool changer, how to remove those tools and bring them out of the machine, and other things similar to that we were working on. So that's it for today. Tomorrow, we're going to do some more simple operations, but a little bit more advanced. We're going to be doing some drilling, chamfering, and tapping. Probably the same kind of blocks that we just drilled. So that's the plan for tomorrow, drilling, chamfering, and tapping. And then we also have a sample part that Aaron usually makes like at the trade shows that's got some slots milled in it and then a hex machined in there using a face mill and then a bore in the center that you would bore out with an end mill. So that's going to be the final project that we work on. So we're going to continue to work on those things. And then there's some other things that I want to try to film while we're here as well out there in the shop, not just the training aspect, but some of the other things that is involved here at Flex Machine Tools, maybe showing some of the machines being built, showing some of the flex arms being built, and whatever else is interesting that we can get into. We are going to do a demo for flow drilling. That's something new to me. I have seen it once on the internet, but that is a form of like friction drilling, high-speed friction drilling, where you're forcing a cone-shaped drill, a solid drill, through a piece of material to form a hole. Now, that's going to be really interesting. I'm looking forward to sharing that with you here on the channel. So hopefully we're going to have a lot of fun things to share while I'm here for these 3 days. So that's it for today. I'm heading out. Going to head back to our camp, cook some dinner, and relax for the rest of the evening. I'll be back here first thing tomorrow morning. All right, so day 2 here at Flex Machine Tools. We are getting ready to start writing a program for a simple machining op today. And as I said in the previous video, just a really simple training operation. We're gonna be taking these flat bar and drilling, chamfering, and tapping, all right? Very simple stuff, but very difficult for me because I don't know how to program machines, and that's why we're here. So we've already loaded the 3 tools this morning. So we have tool 1, 2, and 3 in there, which is gonna be, we have a drill, we have a chamfering tool, and then we have a tap. We're gonna be doing half 13. So we successfully got those loaded in there. We also started by properly turning on the machine, booting it up, making sure the air pressure is correct going to the machine. All right, and then we've got, this is the vise that we're gonna be using right here. We already set this up yesterday, so we have this work location already set in the machine. And you can just see what kind of work envelope that you have on a Flex CNC like this. This one being 4 foot by 20 foot. And you have the 4th axis down there on the end, and you can put 2 of those on there, so you can have a long piece in here if you need to hold both ends. So this is the block that we're gonna use right here. We're just gonna go ahead and write out a program and probably put, I don't know, maybe 2, 4, 6, maybe put 8 holes in there total. So that is what we'll be working on. We'll get this set up and we'll bring it back, show you how it goes. All right, so we've been getting the program written for our test piece, which is gonna be, I just called it the A-Bomb 79 half 13 tap block. It's the same block that we drilled yesterday. So just a piece of 1-inch thick flat bar. It's 2 1/4 inches wide. And we're gonna put a series of 5 holes across, 3 rows of 5 holes. So we've got all that written in here. Just run down and show you this right here. Another pretty simple part. Difficult for me because I don't understand, I don't remember hardly any of the G codes yet, or any of the codes, but that's what I'm here training for, and I'm being walked through it. So that is our program right there. I just found, no, the last thing we got to do is that we got to find the location at the top of the workpiece. So we still have to do that. And then once we do that, we're going to go ahead and run it through. We'll probably run one. I'll probably do one off camera just to make sure that I'm doing everything right. And then we'll stick another piece in there, and I'll film that one of the actual machining cycle, the drilling and the tapping. So we're ready to run through our first block here. We actually just did a dry run where we moved our work offset 2 inches above and just did a dry run to make sure everything looked right. And now I'm gonna go ahead and execute cycle start, turn it up to 100%, and send it. So here we go, let's give it a try. Cycle start. So it's going over there to get our first tool, which is gonna be a drill. So we'll do drill, and then countersink, and then tap. That looks pretty good. Yeah, that drill's looking good. So total of, I believe that was 18 holes that we're machining in there. You have to be really careful trying to get in there close to film, because you have this laser curtain right there. It goes all the way across, and you can move those. But if you reach in there and disrupt that laser, then it's going to pause. All right, so we're getting pretty close to our drilling cycle to be done. I think that was the last hole right there. So now we're getting ready to change tools to our chamfer. That puff of air that you heard blows out from the spindle there whenever it comes down right there. blows the top of the shank of the tool holder off before it engages the taper. So that's our chamfering tool. This is a carbide insert, one insert tool. All right, so let's see if we got this right. This is the one I'm more nervous about. It's hard to tell, but it looks like it may be good. I can see that first hole. Looks pretty good. Gonna move the laser curtain down here. We just move it. Just about through with our chamfering op. Got 2 more holes there to go. All right, so that's our last hole. So getting ready to go down here to 71, which would be our tool change to tool 3. Oh, I misspelled that. Look, I put 1/3-13. I just now realized I didn't. A 1/3-13. Yeah, the chamfers look nice. They look good. Looks like we got our spacing done properly. All right, well, here we go. Looks like it's working. We did not set the tool to go all the way through the block. Aaron's a little nervous because it's an old used tap. He doesn't get the fresh taps. He gets the leftovers, the scraps for making all of the carts. So we got to go about halfway down through the block.
Playing it safe.
Yeah. Well, it's looking good. Everything's working. Oh, the curtain was down here too close to the gantry. Okay. All right, so we run through our code. We'll go ahead and give it a little puff of air, clean it off. Oh, there you go. How about a chip of the week right here? That looks good. Everything looks good. Chamfers, even the threads, they look nice and shiny. We've got success on our first test piece where we tapped some holes there. Very good. Here it is right here, just a little test piece. Basically made a little fixture block. Drilled and tapped for 1/2-13. There's our chips. It looks good. All right, so I wanted to put this in there for Aaron. He taught me something, just like I teach you guys, you know, try to be as safe as you can around the shop. Don't leave chuck keys in the chuck. So he informed me one of the cardinal rules on a machine like this is that you never leave the vise wrench in the vise. Never leave it in there at all. Whenever you go to loosen the vise to remove your part, don't leave it in there, right? Don't leave it in there. Take it off because you will crash. You will crash into this. Not only potentially tear the machine up, you're going to tear the vise up and screw your fixturing up. Who knows what else? So there's our piece. So just remember, always remove your vise handle when you're through with it. All right, we're getting ready to run our next test piece. This guy right here, we've got a couple slots to mill in there, and we're going to machine a hex and a tapped hole. So we are getting ready to send it. We're not done yet. Here's just a shot. We were just looking at it. We still got a little bit more to do. We've got to tap it, we're going to chamfer it, and we're going to clean the bottom of it up with another face mill, but just a little bit better look of our sample part there. All right, this should be our completed test project right there. We had to go in and modify it a couple times, and we didn't have it set the chamfer on that last stop there, so we had to go in and modify the program and set it up to come back and chamfer it again. That's why that was done that way. Go ahead and take it out. Somebody tighten that up. All right, take our vise handle off. There's our part. That looks pretty good. Now I can't take the full credit for doing this all my own. You know, this has been a training project, so a lot of watching and learning and helping on some of the data entry and setting things on the machine to get to this process right here. But it's been a lot of fun. This is great. It's a big little trinket to take home and have as a keepsake. One of our first CNC parts here. All right, so we're done with our CNC training for now. As far as I know, we've got our test pieces there that we just did. So we want to do a fun demonstration on something that's new to me that I've never seen before, and that's going to be a flow drill. I've seen videos of this online before, but that's about the extent of it right here. This is a large flow drill right here. 2 5/8, okay. And this was one that they sent to Aaron to do a sample piece. This is the actual drilled part right here. This guy right here. All right. It ended up breaking, but that's another story right there. But anyway, we want to do, I was asking if we can do a demonstration on this, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to set up, this is the flow drill that we're going to use right here, and this is actual tap size for 1-inch MPT. Now, I don't believe we have plans to go in there and tap, but what we're going to do is just show a demonstration of how this works. You can see there's no cutting fluids on here, and my understanding is that it really just uses friction and high speed. This thing spins at a high speed, comes down, applies pressure to the workpiece, and pushes itself through there. And as the drill comes down through your workpiece, you see it's got a flange on there. It actually flattens out the top, just like you see right here, okay? It pushes the material down to the bottom, so it actually gives it more area for threads. There's a lot of times you'll come back in there after the drilling step and come through there with a tap to make the threads in there. And so flow drill provides the taps for it as well. It's a form tap. It's not like your traditional style tap that we all use. It's a different style of tap. So this is another example right here. You can see it's a piece of tubing. So pretty cool. Pretty excited about seeing this. Aaron's getting the program written right now to get it set up. I think what we're going to do is we're going to use these 2 pieces of drop tubing to do this demonstration. All right, and we'll just do it right over there on the Flex CNC. So we've got the flow drill set up in the machine. We're getting ready to do a demonstration for you. I went ahead and set up another GoPro in here, so hopefully we can get a little bit better shot for you. And we're ready to go. hopefully that gave you a good perspective of it inside the machine, but that is really cool. Really neat process, new to me to see this done in person. And as I said before, so a lot of times after this process of drilling a hole, you'll go back in with the form tap to actually machine the threads in there as well.
Smile, everybody.
So
Weston, get over here.
Nick broke out the Honda Talon. He wants to take us for a ride around the track. So I guess that's what we're gonna do. I've been warned.
Before he left, I'm like, I don't know if you're a religious person, but I would definitely say a prayer.
That's not very encouraging.
Tell you love her.
All right, well, see, he's got a cool dirt bike track right back there, so we're gonna take it for a spin.
Let's go.
All right, man, we wanna make it back to Florida, so
We'll get you there. We're not gonna flip it today.
all right, we're on the dirt bike track. There's a tabletop. Whoop section. This guy. This is what happens when you come to Flex Machine Tools. Oh man.
You all right, Abby?
Doing it. Man.
What I've never done is gone the opposite way.
The opposite way.
Yeah.
All right, let's go around the reverse direction. Oh man.
You ready, Aaron?
Was that fun?
That's awesome.
Whoever said you can't buy happiness is full of crap. Buy a side by side. That was great. Thanks for the ride, man.
No problem, that's fun.
What a great week it's been here in Wapakoneta, Ohio, visiting with Flex Machine Tools. I didn't actually get any more video of my visit there. You know, that last clip was we're out there on the side-by-side having fun with Nick out on the dirt bike track out back. And that was a lot of fun. And a bunch of us just got to hang out there and, you know, kind of say our goodbyes and enjoy our evening there. But Abby and I are actually we're getting the Kodiak packed up now. We've got a couple more stops to make before we head back home, which is what we're getting ready to do now. So we're getting ready to load up, head out of here. We're actually heading north up to Indiana to visit our friends up at Dutchman RV. That's where we're headed to next. We're definitely going to have a video there of that visit over on the A-Bomb Adventures channel. But had a great time here at Flex Machine Tools, and this was my very first time getting into the learning aspect of the CNC machining. Been posting some pictures and some videos throughout the week of my stay there at you know, my visit with Flex Machine Tools. We've had a few questions about CAD and CAM, and we did not go into CAD. That's something that I'm going to be looking into for the summer. I haven't decided what software I want to use yet. There's plenty of options out there. But we're going to be checking into that and seeing what might work best for me. So I'm hoping this summer I'm going to start doing some at-home training with some type of CAM software and get familiar with that on how to use the software to draw parts and to create the CAM, you know, the CAM software, not the CAM software, but create the drawings in order to be able to make parts and send them over to the machine to make parts. We've had a lot of comments and concerns about, you know, is this the end of the A-Bomb 79 manual machining? No, it is not. My plans here are not to change what I have done and what I've been doing. I'm not taking away from what I have. The shop that I have there is going to stay just like you know it. We're going to continue to do manual machining. We're going to continue to do projects, continue to do jobs, viewer jobs, all that stuff that you've always seen me do. We're going to continue doing that. My goal here is that I want to learn something new. There's a lot of great things about CNC that I don't have access to, I don't have the ability to do because I haven't taken that step to learn it. I want to be able to learn. I want to learn how to do these things so that I can add, you know, I can add that to what I provide with my, you know, with my shop and my services. So I want to be able to eventually comfortably go over to a CNC machine and machine a complex part versus having to go to my mill to do it every time. Or if we have a batch, you know, set of batch parts that we're going to make, be able to utilize a CNC machine to do that. So this is really more about the story, the A-Bomb story of continuing my education and continuing my learning and learning new things and taking a step forward to adding more capability to what it is that I provide now. So I don't want people to be worried or think that I'm just gonna do away with what I already have established there at the shop. We're just wanting to add to it and create a whole new chapter to add to the book here, all right? And hopefully as we move forward, it's gonna provide some great services to what I do on my end there, all right? So big thanks to Nick and all of the team there, especially Aaron for the training at Flex Machine Tools. You know, thank you, Nick, for inviting me up to, you know, provide this training for me. He stepped up and said, hey, come on up here and we'll give you some training. And that's what Nick done. And Aaron's a great teacher. He really knows his stuff. So I really enjoyed having somebody like that by my side, being very patient with me and teaching me G-code and what these codes mean. Even though I don't remember very many of them, I've got a book there that I can reference to, and that's part of the learning process, you know, the more you do. A lot of you guys that are in the CNC, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You can't learn it in a day, it takes time. Same thing with manual machining. In general, you know, any kind of trade skill, it takes some time. we're going to work towards that. I want to get better at it. So I think that's enough of this right now. Abby and I are going to finish getting the Kodiak set up, hooked up to the truck, packed away, so that we can hit the road. And she's out here patiently waiting on me.
It's because I want to go antique. I'm really excited.
We have a couple antique places that I told Abby we could stop at. That not that it's I'm giving you permission. That's just like what we do.
I don't have to talk you into it.
No,
No.
we like antiquing while we're on the road. That's part of we make that part of our travel when we get from point A to point B. We like to stop along the way and have a little fun and look at some antiques, look for old tools, look for old cast iron.
And old catalogs.
And old catalogs. She found some really, really cool American machinist catalogs from 1909 and 1910.
See, it pays to look through the paper products. I've been saying it.
She finds them. She finds books. She has found a lot of books on this trip that have to do with industrial and machining. So we've had a good time up here.
Yeah, we have. I love the city.
Yep. This is a beautiful campground. Here's a little shot. We've got a great little spot here between two of the cabins.
It is the weekend, so it's really busy now.
It's Saturday morning, beautiful. Birds are out chirping. The sky is blue, and we are wearing sweaters because it is cool out here. It has been, it's gotten into the 30s at night, and then a high like 60 during the day.
And everyone here is complaining, but we love it.
Everybody's complaining that it's still cold.
Warmer. I understand.
But we love it. We love it because when we left Florida, I mean, it was hot. It was already getting into the 90s down in Florida.
I don't want to leave the ice cream shop.
They have Max's ice cream. Ice cream. That is so good. Such a great place. If you come through Wapakoneta, make sure you check out Max's.
You know when you go to a place and you want to move there because of it, it's
because of Max's. I like the charming small town feel. This is it's just a beautiful little town and absolute Midwest town, Main Street America.
The people are so nice.
Yeah, it's really cool here. So anyway, it's dragging on. We're at 7 minutes.
Okay,
Let's go ahead and end it. All right, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this little journey, and hope to see you again real soon. All right, later.